Hi guys, and welcome back to Rustic Cottage Studios. If you're new, welcome. If you are not new, welcome back. So today I am going to do a permanent vinyl Libbey glass wrap, and I just wanted to try it out. I have some permanent vinyl and I come across this really cute pattern, and I got it from Creative Fabrica. If you have not been to this site before, it will be linked in the description. They have all kinds of wonderful designs that you can get. PNGs, SVGs, DXFs, EPS, just all kinds of different designs that you can use, and they come with the commercial. So these are not just for your own personal use. You can use these if you are a small business to create your products. I love going here because they have such cute things, and it's not expensive. I think it's like less than $50 for the year. Don't quote me on that, but I do believe that is what it is. Now, I could not decide. I have two different pinks. Well, one's a pink and one's a coral color, and I could not decide between the two. So instead of eeny, meeny, miny, moe in it, I decided I'm going to make two of them and see just how they look. I think they're going to be really, really cute. So the first thing I wanted to do is, when I first put it in here, it was all grouped together. And tell you what, I'm going to scoot this page up. And I'm going to show you exactly what I did so you can see. Go to uploads. Now, I have already uploaded it. But if you were the first time, you would click upload and then you would upload it. In the last video I did where I used my Cricut Design Space, I showed you guys exactly how to do that. And I will try to put the card to that up here. But since I've already uploaded it, I'm going to click it. You'll notice that it shows up down here, and then hit add to canvas. Now when it first pops up, it will all be together in one wad, so you will need to ungroup it, and then you can separate it. You will want to then attach each section if you want it to stay in the same design that it's in. The reason why you do that is if you don't, when you click the make it, I'm going to do this part really doesn't matter, to be honest with you, but when you click make it, this is how it's going to look. I was like, wait a minute, that looks right. But no, if you look on the side, because I have mine that is already together that I'm going to use, but I have mine attached. This is what it looks like attached. Actually, I'm glad I did that. This is what it looks like attached, and if you see all these little pieces here and all these pieces over here, these little pieces here, that's the pumpkins. So if you don't want to have to piece them together yourself, you want to attach it. The same with the black. These two are the ones that I have. Let me make that a little larger so you can actually see it. These two are the ones, this one and this one are the ones that I have that are attached. And this is the stem. This is how it's supposed to be, because you'll put the pumpkin right here. But if you see all these little flowers right here and all these little pieces here, and then all these, of course these pieces ain't so bad, but everything else, this isn't bad. This is really the bad part of this part of the ghost ones, is these little pieces right here that go on the ghost itself. If you don't want that separated and have to piece that together all by yourself, make sure you attach them. I'm going to go back to cancel. Once you attach them, click attach, it sets it exactly how it is. Now, because I already have mine done, I'm going to go ahead and delete these because I only want these two sets to cut. I don't want anything else. So I have all these done. Always save your project, even if you've already named it. Like I named mine Hocus Pocus simply because I have this one, which is the Hocus Pocus one. And then make sure you have your machine picked. I am using my Cricut Joy. Choose the matte or without matte. You can use the matte if you have vinyl that would take the matte, but I do not. I'm using the Cricut Joy because these wraps are not very big, like they're not very wide, so you can actually do this on the mat. Now, I like to take mine, this is not necessary, but I just like to have mine kind of in the middle. And notice these are all together. Now, while yes, it does, and I want this at 21 because I do like a little bit of space in between so that I can cut it straight down. There we go. Now, I have everything set up. I want it in the center. I want that in the center. Perfect. Click back on the very first one unless you want one of the other ones to cut first. Notice that it says without mat. It tells you exactly how long, and right here, based on your layout, material must be 11 inches. That's this one. Based on 11 inches, and then this one will tell you 21.25 inches. So because it always adds that little extra. Click back on the first one. Once you have everything set up exactly how you want it, click continue. And once it finds your machine, then you'll click on, I'm using the Smart Vinyl. And the Smart Vinyl just means you don't need the mat. I'm going to click more because I just always do that. You only need the fine point blade in the clamp, but make sure that you are checking that blade that there is nothing on there. Make sure you're paying attention to what material needs to be loaded first. This one is the coral, and then it'll be the tulip, and then the black. And then you just load your material. And click go. Okay. The first thing I want to do is go ahead and try to weed out these little center pieces because there shouldn't be anything in the center of the flower. And I am going to fast forward this here in just a few minutes, but I kind of want to talk to you guys while I'm doing this because I'm sure you noticed that grand opening was not very grand for my birthday. And it wasn't anything you guys did, or it was just a simple fact that I was not able to get products in my shop the way I wanted to because, you know, everything that happened. School starting, and then the storm starting, and then just, I don't know, everything just kind of, it just didn't go the way I had planned it to go. And that happens sometimes. And really and truly, I think for you guys that are small business owners who are just starting out and are watching my channel, I really think that this is something that you guys need to see because a lot of times, and I'm just as guilty as this, I watch on YouTube and I see all these people who have their shops and they're doing, it's like they launched it and then they're doing so well it just goes viral, and that doesn't always happen. That is not always the way it goes. And I think sometimes it's important that we see that that's not always how it goes. Because if we think that that's always how it goes, and it's always going to be that way, well, then we're setting ourselves up for failure, and that's not good. My little flower's moving on me. There we go. And I have learned from the past, when you do this, check to make sure that there's nothing actually left in here. Because once you ball it up, that's it. That is literally it. That is so cute. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and weed through this off camera because this is going to be a lot. I will come back when I am doing the tulip color and the coral color. And my light just went off, which is fine because I think I'm going to be able to see it better without the lights. Like, I did not see this little piece right here while the light was on. Before I go in and start weeding out my tulip and my coral, I wanted to show you guys real quick. I had to do a little fixer-uppers, so to speak, on my ghost because using the smart vinyl on the Cricut Joy, sometimes your vinyl gets a little stuck, and I thought mine did, but I wasn't 100% sure. It did, and when it did, it kind of offset, like it didn't cut 100% the way it should. And you can see, like, take a look at this ghost and the way it looks. Like, I can fix the mouth again, but there's some of it, like, I don't have a flower put there, don't have a flower put there. So because of the way it cut. Now, is it the end of the world? No. This can still be used. Depending on how it looks would depend on if this is something you keep for yourself, use as an oopsie. In other words, it's a product that you make, but something happened to it that it's not perfect and it can't be passed off as perfect or close to perfect, so you discount it. So we're going to take a look at it when it's completely done to see how it looks when it's finished. But because it has some breaks in the, well, not really in this one, but there's some breaks in this one, and there's a little break here, this will probably become my own personal one because I was going to keep, I know I told you guys in one of my last videos when I did the other Libbey cup with the stickers, the sticker vinyl, that I was going to keep that one for myself. Well, I ended up not. I ended up taking those pieces off, and I'm sorry that the camera is shaking, guys, but I ended up taking those pieces off so that I could make them smaller because I felt like they were too big. And it ended up being perfect, and I was like, oh, now I don't really want to, I wanted to keep it, but at the same time, I need to put it in my store, and I just haven't done so yet because of, you know, I'm behind, guys. Everything's going to be up soon, I hope. Just keep watching the stores. And although I have the Etsy store, and I also have the store that if you type in Rustic Cottage Studio.com, then it'll take you straight to my store. So that'll be the one that I'm actually going to really focus on the most, but I am going to put all my stuff also in Etsy. I'm just going to probably not advertise it as much as I do the other one because I like the idea of typing in my name, my business name, and it taking you straight to my store. And I could have done that with Etsy, but I chose not to, which is okay. So, but I wanted to show you guys that sometimes things happen. So, and because of this, because this is not the first time that this has happened, so because of this, I am probably going to stop using smart vinyl when it comes to my Cricuts, whether it's the Joy or the other, and just use, well, I have the Explorer 2, which does not take the smart vinyl, I don't have a maker, and I may still use it with a maker as long as I have that rolly thing. I know you guys know what I'm talking about, but I'm trying to find my eyeballs. Right, but as far as my Joy goes, I think I'm gonna start just using my mat. Even if it's smart vinyl, I can cut it to go on my mat, and that way I'm only using what I absolutely need as well, because you know when you're using the smart vinyl, you're also losing, I don't know, about an inch or so of your vinyl, so it's kind of like a waste. I like my little pen. I love this thing. I got this off of Amazon. Making sure I got all my flowers, and nope, I missed one down here. When my when I was finishing up my recording before, so that I could finish weeding out the black vinyl, the black part of it, the light went out on this thing, and I did not charge it, so I'm not using it. But it's okay because I can see just fine. I hope you guys can too. I do hate that I am losing a lot of vinyl, and probably from some of the others that I do, I will probably attach the pumpkins, but not everything else, just so there we go, just so that I'm not losing. My fingernails do not grab a hold of stuff very well anymore. Apparently neither do my tweezers. There we go. But that way I won't be actually losing a lot of my vinyl. Y'all can tell this is the permanent vinyl. It sticks good, or well. And this really just peels so nicely. I say that, and then part of it breaks off. You do have to do it slowly because it can rip just like that did. Thankfully, it did not. But as you can see, that's a lot of wasted vinyl. I really hate that. But for the purposes of this video, for the purpose of this video, I wanted to make it easier. That is the coral. The pink is a little harder to see because it's such a light color. I do have my eyeballs on to help me. Okay, now that we have everything weeded, now we need to take and put it on transfer tape and transfer it. Now, I did wipe this off camera, but make sure you guys wipe it completely. There it is. I'm going to put my parchment paper back on here. I'm actually doing this a little different than I did the last one. This time I'm going to wrap it around. Ooh, that was sliding. I want to try to get it even as I can. So basically what I'm doing is just trying to make sure that I have this lined up somewhat. And make sure that these are not on the edge, but also not too close. Just like that. Because you want to make sure that you have it as even as you can. Over there. But you also don't want it going over the edges. So flip it. I still feel like you guys are too close. Here, let's do it this way. There. And I'm just going to work it around. Okay. Because you want to try to make it to where you don't have any bubbles. So one thing I want to try out, and I will have to purchase it because I don't have the machine to make it, is that UV DTF. Oh my goodness gracious. I forgot to lift up. UV DTF, I think is what it's called. Okay, lift that up. So I will have to, guys, make sure that you are, because I was not paying enough attention. Therefore, I did not raise this up. So I have 3 flowers that are now on my transfer tape. I can't lift it up. There we go. 3 flowers that are on my transfer tape that I'm going to have to peel off. But anyway, what I was saying is I want to try that, but I'll have to buy it. I'll have to make my designs and send it off and buy it. I've heard, aside from being extremely hard to take off the paper, the transfer tape, so to speak, that it is really nice to have. Okay, I thought this was still lifted up. Do it just like this. You have to be careful when taking this transfer tape off because sometimes it's like the mouth does not want to come off. I'm going to put that there. Sorry if that blocks you guys from being able to see. I am trying. And I could cut this out and make this look like it was just a seamless little transaction, so to speak. But you guys have got to see the real deal, what really happens. If you're making this, you're doing this, and this happens to you, I don't want you guys to feel like you're the only one this happens to. This happens to the best of us. Also, when you're making these for yourself, or if you have a small business and you're making some to sell, keep in mind of one very important thing. Once you've made it, don't pick at the vinyl. It hasn't set yet. It hasn't had time to set yet. It will peel up. Yes, this is permanent vinyl, but if you pick at the vinyl, it will peel up. Don't pick at it. Does not want to turn loose. And don't peel it straight back. Try to get it at an angle. Okay, that flower, I'm going to let it come up because that flower ripped. And I don't want that on there. Peel it at an angle and peel it slowly. That way, if something is still sticking, then you can take it off. Or not take it off, but you can put it back where it was. But do not pick at this. Yes, it's permanent vinyl. Yes, you will be able to wash it when it's all said and done. But you have to let it set. You have to let it cure. If you don't let it cure, it's going to come up. You're going to be able to pick it off. Because at the end of the day, even though it's permanent, if it doesn't cure, if you don't give it time to cure, it's going to come off. If you pick at it, sorry guys, if you pick at it, it's going to come off. That was a mistake I made when I first did my last cup with the printable vinyl. I was picking at it within a couple hours and it was coming up, and I was like, why is it coming up? It's supposed to be permanent. Da, 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 da. And I thought, Vicky, really? You're smarter than that. But then it's not about smartness. It's about just not stopping and thinking for a second that I just put this on here. It's not going to be cured. You have to give it a chance to cure. So don't pick at it. Don't put it in water. Don't try to wash it. Leave it be. Set it to the side and leave it be. There. Now I can go back and get my two flowers that were right there. I hope. Oh dear. Oh, I was like, oh my gosh. I dropped it, but I didn't drop it. It just didn't come off my skin. Hold it with your fingernail and mash it on there. And let's see if I can get the other one off. I got it. And I'm going to put it right there. Now I need to unroll this. Turn this so I can get a good grip to it. I'm just going to let it hang. This is going to be mine anyway, so it'll be fine. This one's going to be mine. And that's it. I probably could have went, well, I say I could have probably went a little bit lower, but let's see here. Right here is that edge, so it wouldn't have been much lower. So you can see how stinking cute. That is really cute. I do like that is the, I do have some bubbles. So make sure you try to work your bubbles out. I don't have very many bubbles, which is good. Work your bubbles out as soon as you get the vinyl off so that it cures all at the same time. And you don't take the chance of getting trash or something underneath your vinyl. And yes, it's permanent vinyl. Yes, it will stay after once it has set, but do not put it in the microwave. Do not put it in the dishwasher, and don't soak it because eventually it will cause the adhesive to come loose. But I am going to look into getting some of that UV DTF, I think is what it's called, and trying my hand at that and seeing how that works. And if I like working with it, then that will become my go-to for creating, and then that'll just be something else I have to save my money up for. Not that I'm complaining. And now once you have all the bubbles worked out of it, then you will just set it to the side, give it 24 to 48 hours. I say 24 to 48 hours, but 48 hours. using my fingers to lay the vinyl down instead of using my scraper actually proved to be better, because it, with the exception of some areas, I had very few bubbles. Not going to say I didn't have any, but I had very few bubbles. But it was just easier to lay down. Oh, that smoothed out better with my fingers than it did the scraper. So it was easier to lay down than it was when I used the scraper on the other one. I'm not going to say don't have one on hand. I'm not going to say don't have one next to you, because like on one of the ghosts, and I don't remember which one it was, but on one of the ghosts, the mouth did not want to pop off the transfer tape very easily. So I had to use my scraper for that. But outside of that, using my hand worked better. See, here's another bubble. But I only had a couple bubbles, so that was good. Whereas my other one, I had bubbles on almost every flower. Not flower, but I don't on flowers too, but on every pumpkin. Now, remember what I said. Don't pick at them. If I were to sit here and pick at these, they would come up. Don't do it. Also, don't get it wet. Like I said, 48 hours, 24 to 48 hours. I'm always an over, I guess, achiever, some people would say. But I would always do the 48 hours just because it would make more sense. Or not more, it's not so much that it makes more sense. It's just that it gives you that extra 24 hours so that you know. And I don't know about you guys. While I like the coral, I almost think I like the pink better. Kind of makes me wonder why I didn't mess up on the pink one instead of the coral one. No. I'm picking. But what do you guys think? The coral, which is this one, or the pink, which is this one? Which one do you think it looks better? Either way, they are going on my shop. This particular one is going in my pantry, but and I will be using my mat instead of my smart vinyl so that this doesn't happen again. But these are going to be made to order. Everything that's in my shop, even though it's a physical item and it will remain a physical item, everything is going to be made to order. So while I will take a picture of this one and I will get the better angle, or maybe I won't take a picture of this particular one. Yeah, I will. I can still take a picture of this particular one. This particular one won't be in my shop for sale. I'll just take a picture of it so you can see the way it looks. But now this particular one will be. But now these are going to be, everything I do in my shops are going to be made to order until I see what sells, what doesn't sell. I do not want a bunch of inventory on hand. So everything's going to be made to order until I see what sells and what doesn't sell, if that makes sense. And I am going to be getting this Halloween stuff up hopefully within the next, hopefully this weekend. If it's not already up, I'm actually recording this before it airs. So if it's not already up by the time this is posted, hopefully it'll be up by the weekend. And I hope you guys are enjoying the way that I am doing my intros and outros for right now, because my office has gotten to be entirely too compact, too cluttered, I guess, for me to be able to really do my intros and outros the way I was doing them. So this is going to have to be just the way it's going to be for right now until I can get my studio done. And I know I've been talking about getting my studio done for quite some time now, but I finally have the money up to get moving on it. It's just that we are in what I call hurricane season, what everybody calls hurricane season. And every time we get a minute where we think we can go get the materials, it rains. And you guys know as well as I do, you cannot go get sheetrock in the rain unless you have a trailer that you're putting it inside with this covered all the way. And we do not have this. So until I can get the material, I have someone who's going to complete it for me. But until I get the material, I'm going to be working out of my office still. So, but once I get my studio done, then I will be able to do better angles where you can actually see like full on my work table. You'll be able to see me again. But until then, I hope you guys are enjoying the way we're doing it now, and I hope that it's okay and that you at least enjoy the tutorials. And if there's something that you want me to try, comment below, let me know, and I'll see what I can do once I get up some the UV DTFs. Then I will do a video on those. I'm gonna probably get from a couple of different vendors, and then I will see. I'll do a video so you guys can see which one is better price wise and quality wise. So until then, I hope you guys enjoy. Remember to keep checking my shop because items are going to be added. So until next time, have a blessed day. Bye.